Hello and welcome to the Growing Green Landscapes Podcast with Jeremiah Jennings. While still in his early 20s, Jeremiah already runs a successful six-figure lawn maintenance company. Listen in as he and his guests share the things that have brought them success that can help you in your business. As a young entrepreneur in the green industry, Jeremiah emphasizes the tips and tricks involved in running a lawn maintenance business while discussing the principles applying to all small businesses. If you're wanting to grow, become profitable and professional, you're in the right place. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning into the Growing Green Podcast today. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings. We are so excited to be coming to you with another guest interview today, and this one's going to be really fun. It is, if you've been on Instagram, you've probably seen his name around there or been on other podcasts. So I heard you. We'll just bring you in, Travis from Mars Bros. How you doing today, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Crazy day. Spring rush is here, like we're all talking about. And you tell me before we got on air here that y'all having crazy rain up there. We're having rain down here, and we finally had a pretty day today, so had to get a lot done. But I feel like, so I actually heard, I've been following you on Instagram for a while, but then I heard you on Caleb's podcast, and man, I'm in the same boat as him. Mars Bros is what is like, that's what's in my head as you. Like, you are Mars Bros to me. And then I looked you up on Instagram and you changed your name. I was like, oh no, he changed.
Yeah, I changed it. I'm actually thinking about going back because that's literally every other person has been like, that is what is in my head.
No, it is. Seriously. It is crazy how it does that, because I mean, as soon as Kev said Mars Bros, I was like, oh, I know exactly who this dude is without even looking at you. So it was, you definitely need to. I think that you created your brand as Mars Bros. You need to stick to it, man.
Stick to it. Yep.
That's right.
That's what everybody else has said. You might as well just go back to it. And I'm like, all right, maybe I'll just go back.
Well, what was your reason? Did you have a reason for changing, or you just want to change it up a little bit?
No, I really just was just changing it up just to see if there was a difference or anything like that. But now that I see that that's what everybody's like known it as, I might as well just go back to it. It was working when it was that. So I'll just go back to that and go from there.
Good deal. Well, I appreciate you coming on. We're going to have a fun time tonight. We're just going to sit here and have some good conversation, and who knows where it's going to take us, but I think you're going to bring a lot of value to the show, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So just kind of take us into the story of Mars Bros and your kind of, maybe not your whole life story, but whatever you feel like telling about in business and kind of how you got started and stuff.
So pretty much for the last 7 years, I've been working for a construction company. I run heavy equipment. I mean, I started out in the ditch, laying pipe, mudding up inlets, all that type of stuff. And then I worked my way up to running equipment. And I started actually as a backfill guy on a pipe crew. And then from there, I went to a loader on a pipe crew. And then I've actually been in a dozer a lot lately. And I mean, I've been in from the smallest dozer we have up to our D8 that we have. And then, so that's been really fun, and I really enjoy doing that. But when the whole COVID thing hit, we got shut down for roughly, I want to say 2 to 3 months of work, somewhere around there. And it was real slow, and we would go to work and then we wouldn't. And I had already had a Exmark mower of my own that I just used to cut where I live. And that's pretty much how it started. I was like, well, let me see what I can do while I'm just sitting home doing nothing. Let me go find something to do. So yeah, that's what I did. And I started out with like 2 or 3 yards, and then it just exploded to like 30.
Really? That's crazy. I did not so this was not planned. You're the second guest in a row that we've had on the show that it started their companies because of COVID. And we were actually talking about this with the last guy, and that's what exactly. And I think his name was it was Trey, and you're Travis. You got me mixed up there, but we were saying the same thing. Like, I've heard so many people that was the reason they started their company, and was because of that. What you said, that weren't working a lot. I mean, you got kind of shut down. We didn't know what the world was going to do for a couple months. And what do you think? Do you think that you would have ever done this had that not happened? Do you think you ever would have even started a landscaping company?
I don't know, because I actually started helping a guy that was actually my son's baseball coach. I helped him cut grass just on the weekends because he had asked me to help him. he knew that I knew how to run equipment, which would be a plus in running lawnmowers.
For sure.
So he asked me to help him, and I really got like I always like cutting my own lawn and doing everything like that, but when you can pull away from somebody else's lawn that isn't yours and look back and be like, man, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a whole different feeling. But I'm really not sure if I would have. I mean, now that I'm in it, I would say yes, but in reality, I don't really know if I would have. But I'm glad I did.
Yeah. So tell me, and this is gonna be a really weird question, but I just want to ask because you don't know, you're kind of on the fence. Do you love it, or do you just do it for side money? Like, what is your urge to keep on doing it now that you've done it?
No, now that I've started like actually getting into doing mulch and like getting more into like learning how to do hardscaping and stuff like that, I actually do love what I do. Like I
That's
love
awesome.
going out there.
Yeah.
And even though I already work 50 hours a week at my normal job still, I love going out there on Saturdays, even though like I'm not with my family. Like I still love going out there and cutting grass.
That tells you something right there. That tells you. But when you're already making that big of a sacrifice starting out and you still love it, like that tells you, it sounds to me like that's what you're maybe not called to do, but like that sounds like you're doing what you need to be doing. And it sounds like you could really take it somewhere. So what are your goals? Like, well, I guess we should backtrack a little bit. What is Mars Bros? What do y'all do mainly? What does the business model look like?
I mean, mostly right now we're just in like the light landscaping and mowing grass. That's pretty much what we try and stick to right now. Because right now it's literally me and my wife's brother, my brother-in-law.
Okay.
And that's pretty much Mars Brothers right now. And with 2 mowers and a trailer and all the other stuff you need, blowers, and string trimmers and stuff like that. But so
that's such a fun little setup though. Like that man, that's an awesome time to be. Like you can go out and make some really good money on the side. You still have your full-time gig like that. I totally love where you're coming from.
Yeah, and it is awesome being able to do all that. But it's gotten to the point lately where it's like almost too much to do both.
Wow.
But I'm trying to just keep it back till I can get more things situated and all that. And my goal is like maybe in the next 2 years to 3 max to get out of my company that I'm in now.
Okay.
But right now I'm just gonna kind of sit back and see where it goes.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, let's dive into that a little more if you don't mind, because I know there's a bunch of guys that listen into the show here, and they are either part-time, kind of like you are, thinking about going full-time, or they've just made the jump to full-time. What do you think your process is going to look like over the next 2 to 3 years? And I know this is down the road; things can obviously change. But what is have you thought about a game plan? Like, do you need to? How are you going to transition from a full-time job now to a full-time business owner? If you only have 30 yards, are you going to grow it with other guys and then pull out of the full-time job? Because I know you're in a really tough spot, and I think this is going to be really good, and it can help a lot of people because you got wife, you got kids. That's a big thing to leave a full-time job to do. A lot of guys are in that boat, and they're like, how do I do this? How do I get the boat close to the dock? How do I make the jump? What is kind of like your game plan and your model going ahead? What do you think you're going to try to do?
So my plan basically is to, like you said, I would like to try and build it up to 2 consistent mow crews. So I have my brother-in-law who I can trust, and then just trying to find one other person that I can trust now and let them 2 work together for maybe the next year, maybe 2 years.
Okay.
And then have them separate and get enough to run 2 full-time mow crews. And then that way I can, hopefully by that time I'll have enough like landscaping jobs and stuff lined up that I would be able to quit my job and go from there, and kind of for at least the first year almost have enough work booked up for myself in the side of like hardscaping and landscape installs and stuff like that to be able to hold me over until the next year where I would be able to do more marketing and stuff like that to try and get even more work.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That sounds like a good plan. What do you? So you want to get into hardscaping, correct? Isn't that what you really want to do for yourself?
So it's I kind of like the mowing, I do like the mowing, but it's also one of those things like the mowing is a consistent amount of money almost for a set amount of weeks in a year.
Yeah.
So you have that consistent money that you can almost guarantee. And then, but from my background of the equipment and stuff like that, like that's kind of where I want to go to, sort of, is back into the equipment world.
Well, and that's just a lot of experience that you don't need to take for granted. Like you can put that to work and really make some money with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and also going into like small excavation services,
Yeah.
like flattening out backyards and things like
Because you can do like grading and all that stuff, right? I mean, you can do all that. So, I mean, man, I know a guy who is local to me, the guy who's been helping me on a lot of my landscape tear outs with his equipment. Is what he does is he's gotten on with a builder, and he's got with a pole barn builder and with a home builder, and he is booked like full of just making pads for houses. Like that's what he does. He has a Bobcat and he goes out and he doesn't have to leave the machine. Like on his pole barn builds, he goes out, sits in the machine, does the dirt work while the other pole barn crew is out there doing the manual labor. And it's not that he wouldn't get out and help them, but like he's getting paid to be there to sit in the machine. That's what he's doing. And you have that experience. Like you could really take that and do something with it.
Yeah, that's my plan. I mean, eventually, like I want to get a skid loader and like a Mini X because they're two of the most versatile machines you could ever have, and you can literally do almost anything with them. So
let me ask you this: are you going to get a tilt rotator on your Mini X?
So I do love those things. I follow every person, every hardscaper that has them.
Really?
And like the job I do now, there's so many things that I've done where I'm like, man, how much easier would that have been?
Yeah.
If I had something that I could just turn sideways and cut it just a little bit easier than what I did for all those times.
Are you ever going to be able to talk your company into getting one, or no way?
Oh no, they would never. They'll be like, you're all right just doing it the way you're doing it.
Yeah. No, they look awesome. I love watching. I mean, I don't know anything about big equipment, but I love watching them and seeing. I mean, Andy Walter, I could sit there and watch his page all day long when he's backfilling and turning that thing sideways and turning it upside down. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, see, that's all the stuff that I've had to learn how to do the hard way.
Yeah.
So to be able to do it the easy way would just be amazing.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know what to do with yourself. You'd be like, man, I can do this in my sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. The way we would have to do it is like you would literally have to take the bucket off of the machine and turn it around, and then you'd have to go up over a wall that you can't see and try and spread stone. It's like it would be so much easier just to turn it and sprinkle it where you need it.
Yeah, that might be why they invented it. Who knows? I mean, that might have been why there's an invention for that. So, oh man, that's good stuff. That is awesome. That's really cool, man. That's the goals, and I think you could definitely take the company to that level with the experience that you have and the background in the equipment side of things. There's just so like you're saying, mowing is kind of what I call bill money. Like it's consistent, it's going to be there. You know what your bills are going to be. You can kind of base your mowing route to pay those bills. But then when you get into that dirt, where you get to moving dirt and landscape enhancements and installs and hardscaping, man, that's when you really start padding the stats. You can really start adding up some serious income that way. So I think what you're doing is getting a really good foundation with the mow crew is pretty. I think that's a good model for anybody to follow because, like you're saying, when you're making that jump, and I feel like I can't talk about this because I've never done it. I've never never taken a wife and kids and a mortgage and everything else that goes along with that and said goodbye to my last job. But I feel like building up this crew or building up the crew or two crews, you can kind of look at it and say, this is consistent. This is what we're going to have. So you can kind of at least base a plan off of that. Whereas if you're just doing landscape enhancements, it's going to be hard to do, or dirt work. It's going to be hard to plan that way. I mean, is that kind of how you look at it?
Yeah, that's pretty much the way I took it. Was you're not really guaranteed that work. Like, yeah, you can always go out and get it, but it's not always something that's guaranteed. And and with other companies around here, like there's probably a good 5 or 6 other companies just right around me that do hardscaping, and
so you're in a pretty competitive market.
Yeah, so wow. I am. So it's almost one of those things like I'd rather just start off slow and see where it goes, and then if it comes down to it, then just make the jump. I mean, it's going to be hard to get to that point where it's like, all right, this is a definite, like, but from the way it's going now, like I feel pretty good about how it'll work out, hopefully.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, let's talk a little bit about the business, being a business owner, and you married, you have kids, and you're doing this thing on the side, but it's almost a full-time job essentially, because you come home and then go do your other stuff. So, what has that been like from day one? I want to start when we have guests on the show. You're kind of the inaugural one, I guess. I want to start talking more about how the entrepreneurship journey is having an effect on your marriage, positive or negative or whatever you want to say, how much you want to say about it, but not just marriage, but just your life in general. Obviously you love what you do, and you said you like it a lot more, you enjoy what you're doing now, you're getting into some enhancements. How has being an entrepreneur affected your home life and even say, I mean, whatever you want to say here, as much as you want, like I said, but even some negative things, like, and I know, because what people need to realize is being an entrepreneur is not an easy journey. Like, it's not easy for you to work 50 hours and then come home and go cut 30 yards in that spare time that you have between dark and Saturdays and Sundays. That can't be easy. There's no way. And you have to still have a family to support at home and everything that goes along with that. So what have you learned in your last 2-3 years of business as being a part-time business owner? What have you learned just running the business? And how has it affected your life?
I mean,
I know it's a broad question.
Yeah, that is. But it's all right. Like, I really like, you know how Andy Mulder has the Dadder Day thing and things like that. Like, that's the sad part is like, that's when I'm able to actually go out and do a lot of work, because I don't have to work Saturdays or Sundays. So that part of it's really rough, because of course both of my kids play sports. Both of them play baseball during springtime now, and then they have a little break during the summer, and we go to the beach. Like, I always try and make time for them. Like, we go to the beach the same time every year.
Yeah.
So that week I have to figure something out for things to get taken care of, that no matter what, we're going to the Outer Banks. Like, that's where we go.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I don't want to be called when I'm down there. Like, here's what you have to do. Just get it done.
Mm-hmm.
But then you come into fall and both of my kids play football. So it's just hard to try and find a balance of being able to still go to your kids' games and them not getting upset because you're not there. But in the same sense, they also understand why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing it just to do it. Like, I'm doing it so we can have a better life. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
you're building a future. Things.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, not to say anything crazy, but I mean, I didn't grow up with the best life. So it's one of those things where I want to give my kids a better life than I had growing up.
100%. Yeah.
So that's pretty much where it starts. And honestly, that's pretty much what made me start the business, pretty much, was because, like, besides COVID, like, once I started thinking about it, I'm like, wow, like, if I could really make this something, I could make me and my wife and my kids have a better life than honestly I ever thought we would.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think that's really good stuff. And the whole how have you done it? I mean, if you don't mind sharing, what kind of things have you done to make running a business successfully on the side, but also still having a good family life? What are some small tips or steps? Because here's my thing. And you mentioned the kids know why you're doing it, and that's so we're expecting a child in September, and it's gonna be 4, 5, 6 years before he even knows anything about the company. He won't be able to comprehend any of that. Why we do any of it? But I'm already starting now, like, listening to other people and taking notes on how other successful business owners and people in their family lives who are successful, how they are doing that, and what do they do? What are they telling their kids? How are they implementing that in their family life? So I'm picking your brain just as much as you're sharing for the audience out there right now. So just how have you done it?
Honestly, it's like weird to say, but like, just try and keep some type of schedule. Like, my kids mostly know that I'm not going to be at a practice. Like,
Okay.
I would love to be at a practice, but I would much rather go to a game and watch you at whether it's baseball game or a
Mm-hmm.
football game. Like, I would much rather go to that. So like they understand that, yeah, I might not be able to be there every practice, but at least Dad will be there on game day.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I always try and make that my thing with them. Like,
It's like setting your priorities. Like that's a priority
yeah,
to you. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, even if I mean, I have yards that I have to go and cut on Saturdays when football season comes, but a lot of times, and I've talked to most of the people, like most of my customers, I talk to them and stuff, so they all know. And the one lady, she knows that if I'm not there on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. like I usually am, one of my kids has a game.
Mm-hmm.
And she just it doesn't even phase her. She's like, oh yeah, she comes out, how was the kids game? Good, blah blah blah. And then I go about
That's
what I'm
awesome
doing.
though. That's good.
Yeah. So and that's the thing, like at least for right now, I guess you would say, like, trying to train the customers to realize that yes, I work for you, but in the same sense, I have a family to take care of,
Yeah.
and kids to watch grow up. So that's one thing that I really focus on trying to do.
I think that's key from the beginning, because if you just go out and you start accepting anybody and everybody and you're going to let people run all over you, you're going to build a bad model from the beginning, a bad foundation. If you want to grow that successful company that you really enjoy working, you enjoy your customers and who you work for, then it's exactly like you're saying. You explain from the get-go. You have your family, you do it on the side or whatever your case is. It just goes back to communication is key to me. It goes back to you have to talk to them about literally everything. If I'm not going to be there for some reason, just let them know why. 90% of the time, they're fine with it. You just got to let them know.
And that's things I've done too. Like, oh, we're going to go start this mulch job on Saturday or whatever. And I'll let the customer know, like, hey, we're going to be there, but I'll be there late, or my guys will get there before me and they'll start working and I'll be there in an hour or two.
Yeah.
Or just when the project even comes that it gets approved and all that, and I'll let them know, hey, my kids have a game that day, but we'll be there. Like, it just, like you said, it's just, you have to communicate with people, and most people understand. Most people aren't heartless and going to be like, oh, well, then that's no deal. You know what I mean? Like,
and if they are, you don't want them as clients. That's
exactly.
The thing. Yeah,
exactly. Yep. If they're going to be that way, then obviously I didn't want you as a client anyway. So that's fine with me. You go right on ahead and find somebody else. So.
Exactly. There's plenty of other mowing companies out there, because Lord knows there's a million of them. Anybody that's got a truck and a trailer is out mowing nowadays. So that you can find somebody to do it. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, what is back to like the actual business side of things, of like in the business? You said you hardscaping and stuff. Do you have any experience hardscaping? Is that something you're going to kind of teach yourself and learn along the way?
So actually, I actually bought the Hardscaping Academy from Caleb Allman. I bought a lot of their stuff.
Okay.
And
yeah.
I've pretty much been learning from there. And like, the thing is, like, I talked about it on his podcast, like, and he was saying, I have like one of the best foundations because we build roads and stuff like that.
That's the hardest. Yeah.
So, like, the hardest part is the whole compaction thing and figuring all that out. He's like, it's easy to lay pavers on the ground. Like, the hardest part is figuring out what to do with bad soil and stuff like that. So, I mean, I bought their programs just to try and familiarize myself with like layouts and things like that, to try and get a better idea of that stuff. But that's pretty much but just pretty much just learn as I go. I mean, that's kind of how I did it with running equipment and everything like that. So,
well, and I think it's really cool that I think that will really play into your business model and your plan pretty well over the next 2 to 3 years, because if you are starting on the side like that, then or not on the side, but you're doing it part-time still, then you can learn some things here. You start a little garbage pad here, a garbage can pad for grandmother, whoever. Like, you could just start little side jobs and work your way up to where in 2 to 3 years, when you go full time, then you're all like, you know what you're doing at that point. So you're not having to learn then.
Yeah,
And
so I took something from the podcast How to Hardscape because he was talking about how he started, and he started a lot with doing like lift and relays where you don't need a lot of overhead, you don't need a lot of like equipment and everything
yep.
like that. Like there's a sink in a patio. Okay, we're going to take out these 30 blocks, redo the dirt, and then put it all back in and clean it up and fix it. And
Yep.
so I think that's how I have one small patio right now that I'm getting ready to do soon. And then I have one that's a lift and relay, and then another flagstone patio. So yeah, I mean, I think that's just the way I'm gonna start for right now, is just trying to do small things like that, because that's stuff that you can get done in a day or two. If I start getting into bigger projects, then it's going to be like, oh, we're going to have to start this weekend, then wait all week, and then
Yeah.
do some this weekend. And it's just, I mean, I'm sure people won't mind if you explain it to them, but in the same sense, like I don't really want to do that to somebody, because there can be a lot of problems that happen in a week when you leave stuff open. And,
That's
and
right.
things like that. So
That is exactly right. What is so you said you said you do it a lot on Saturdays. Do you have about 30 yards? Is that what you said?
yeah, we're up. We actually got a couple more this season, so we're up to about 35 to 38.
Okay, that's a lot for a side. That you're racking them in. Like you're getting like I mean, I understand what you're saying about that's getting you're getting kind of busy. I mean, that's to do on the weekends and that in the evenings. That's a lot.
Yeah, and the thing is like a lot of them like aren't little postage stamps. Like
You
most
got
of
some
them
acreage.
are an acre. Most of
Wow.
them are an acre or a little more. I mean, that's
That's a good sized property though to have 40 of them. I mean, almost.
yeah, yeah. So that's the thing I don't mind, and it's like I can usually, if it's me and another guy, I can go out. I'll try and do 2 a night when I get done work, and then we'll do a bunch on the weekends. But I actually, for the smaller yards, because I have a 60-inch laser and then I have a 48-inch laser. So the smaller yards, I'll actually send my brother-in-law out to do during the week, so that on the weekends, all we have to do is the bigger yards, and then we can both.
Oh,
do
cool. So he works for you during the week now. He's
the,
already
yeah,
working for you.
yeah, yep.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. So is he like full time? I mean, is that you got enough to kind of close to full time? How does that work?
He's close to full time. He works probably about 32 hours a week, probably somewhere around there. So
That's awesome. So that is really cool. I was wondering that earlier. Were you going to have to like transition into sending him out on his own? But no, you've already got that. You already got that going. So by the time you're ready to start more crews, he's going to already have that knowledge behind him, and I think that's really going to benefit you in the long run.
Yeah, that was my plan, and he wanted to do it on his own. Like he was happy with helping me, but he was like, dude, because he's trying to help me build it too. So he's trying to take on more responsibility and not make it as hard on me, because he sees how hard it is, me already working 50 hours and then trying to do that too. So he's trying to take a little bit off of my plate. And so he's like, all right, well, these 15 to 20 yards, how about I'll just take care of them during the week? And then that way on the weekends, we usually only have about 10 to cut. So he takes a lot off my plate.
Well, that's awesome. That's good that you have that set up and you have that in place, because without that, you'd be a very stressed man.
I mean, it's still very stressful.
Oh, I believe you. Yeah.
So but he definitely helps a lot. So that's.
Are you using any type of software to keep up with this?
I actually just started using Jobber. I spent this winter transferring everything over, and I actually.
That's a process, isn't it? Good night. It's a process.
Yes, it was. And there's just learning it, and there's actually a lot of things on there, and I'm really starting to like it. But just learning that. And then I also purchased the price increase letter from Paul Jameson.
Oh, yeah.
And, I used that, and every person that I sent it out to accepted it. So that was awesome.
Really,
so,
100% acceptance?
Except for one guy that I didn't really like his yard anyway.
Always got to be that one guy. Mess up perfection.
Yeah, he was like, well, I'll just find somebody to do it cheaper than that.
No, but like, bro, isn't that how it always works? I'm telling you, we did that this year. We sent out price increases, And I swear to you, everyone that canceled, everyone of them was like, "Oh, good, thank you. I was ready to get out of that yard anyway." Like it's always the ones that you don't want to do are the ones that's the ones that cancel.
This one was the one that was full of dog poop all the time. And
Oh, no way.
the funny thing is the price that I moved him up to was cheaper than what he was paying last year, because every week I would give him a fee for running over the dog poop in his yard.
Really?
So the price I was giving you this year was actually going to be cheaper than what it was last year. But I was like, whatever. I don't want to deal with it anyway. So
Yeah.
that's fine with me.
Do y'all run weekly or bi-weekly mows up there?
We do weekly.
Okay.
It's just, it gets to the point up here. Like I've had people try and do weekly, but I tell them up front, if they ask, I'm like, well, I'll tell you right now, I'll do bi-weekly if you absolutely want me to, but I'm charging more because I'll more than likely have to double cut it.
Oh, absolutely. What grasses types do y'all have up there where you're at?
It's like a tall fescue grass mostly.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is up here.
Do people take pride in their yards where you are? I love hearing this. A lot of like all over different regions, everybody's different.
It's every person here is different. It's very
Really?
weird. Like you have some people that's all they care about is their yard, and then you have other people who could care less. And
Really?
it's fun. Yeah, and it's funny when you drive around in the development and you see one yard that is bright green, beautiful, and then you go to the next yard and it looks dead, and it's like, hold on. And then you go to the next yard and it's bright green and beautiful, but then you have people that are in, like I have one development that I have 2 or 3 houses in, and almost every yard there, they either have somebody taking care of it or they're out there on Saturdays cutting when we're cutting, and their grass looks just as good as what I'm cutting.
Yeah.
So it's very weird. I haven't really figured that one out yet. I'm like, it's so weird. Some people just absolutely don't care, and then other people are.
We have a little bit of that down here.
Really.
We have a little bit of that down here too, and we were actually just talking in the truck while we were working today. We were in one of the neighborhoods, the biggest neighborhood in our area, and when I say this neighborhood is packed, I mean it is packed. I mean there's probably close to 1,000, if not more than 1,000 houses in this neighborhood. Yeah, it's huge, and they're still adding on to it. It is absolutely massive. But I was talking about I think so where we're at, we kind of have neighbors, but we're not like in a tight subdivision. We have, I mean, I got a little property, but I think one of my biggest problems with living in a tight neighborhood would be if I would care about my lawn and then the 2 people next to me didn't. There's no way I could do that. There's no exactly what you're saying about right in that one neighborhood where one of them is plush and green and the other ones are like dead and brown. Like that's no way. I can't do that.
Yeah. Luckily where I live there. So I live on it's not a main street, but I live like on an off street, but we're actually on the street where our high school is and charter school by us, but there's a development in the field directly across from me. So like you have my grass, which looks nice, and then you have the field sometimes that is dead and brown, and I'm like, man,
yeah, no, that's no good. That is no good at all. Oh man, I would hate that. I'm telling you, that would be my worst part about living in a subdivision. Is if I cared about mine and everybody else didn't. And I think even more so than it looking dead, it would be if I cut mine and then somebody didn't cut it for like a month. I would just have to cut it for them. There's no way I could sit there and watch them let it grow and grow and grow and grow.
So the guy that I actually got rid of, well, he got rid of me technically. I guess you could say. I actually had his neighbor pay me last year to cut his grass.
No way.
Yep, because he didn't. That's how it all started pretty much. Is like this guy called me and was like, hey, my neighbor doesn't want to get his grass cut. Can you go over and cut his grass? And I'm like, well, I don't really want to do that. Like,
yeah.
Why don't you give me, I don't want to just trespass on somebody's property. And I was like, why don't you give me his number and I'll get a hold of him? And he was like, all right. And that's how I actually started with his yard.
And that neighbor actually paid for it?
Yep, the neighbor ended up paying for it, and then the guy paid every time after that. But
yeah,
the original cut, the neighbor paid for it.
That's terrible. I would hate. See, I couldn't do it. Could not do it. Could not do it. Nope. That I would end up saying some things that didn't need to be said, and probably get kicked out of the homeowners association. They would not be.
Well, that's the funny thing. They have a homeowners association, and I'm like,
yeah, like how does it get to this point?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how does this happen?
They'll roll around telling everybody to put their trash cans behind a fence or something, but then their grass will be 6 inches tall in the front yard and they won't do anything about that. Bushes covered up the house and it's a mess.
Can't even walk on the sidewalk. The grass is all in the sidewalk.
Exactly. It'll take you 2 hours to edge it just because it's gotten so bad. Man, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Well, man, this has been a really fun episode. Like I said, I want to respect your time. I know you have a full evening ahead, and you got kiddos at home and all that. So, just right here before as we wrap this up, is there any words of advice, any parting words of wisdom that you want to leave anybody with? Whether it be talking about starting out as a side hustle, or just owning a business in general, or anything like that.
The one thing I would say is just don't be afraid to like go out there and try. I mean, all the people that are like, oh, well, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know this. Like, you're not going to know unless you try. And that's what it is with me. Like, I didn't know if it was going to work, but I tried and it's starting to work. So just all you can do is keep pushing and see where you end up.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. And our final question we ask all of our guests here on the show, kind of already answered this earlier, but I still got to ask it here at the end and hear your answer because I love hearing everybody's answer. Is it's pretty simple, but it can get complex, and it's just, what is your why?
Yeah, we pretty much did go over it. I mean, like I said, I didn't grow up the easiest.
Yeah.
And yeah, my why is just to give my kids and my wife a better life than what I had when I was younger, and to be able to retire one day happily.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Create a legacy, man. You can you can change your whole family tree after that. I mean, in 200 years, somebody could look back and say, like, man, thanks to Travis, we're here because of he went out on his own.
Yep. Yeah, that's my plan, because like I said, before me there was really nothing, and I'm trying to make something after it. So
I hear you, buddy. Well, man, I really appreciate your time again, for real, coming on tonight. Guys, I hope you got something out of this episode. If you're anything like me, I know I did. Just thank you to Travis for coming on. And where can we find you on Instagram or social media if we want to go connect with you there?
It's just at Mars Brothers.
No. Just go ahead and put Mars Bros, because as soon as we hang up this Zoom call, you're going to go change it back to Mars Bros. So that's what you need to take it as.
Mars Bros. Yep, there you go. We'll just put it at that. Yep.
All right. Mars Bros on Instagram is where you can find him, and once you see it, it will forever be ingrained in your memory. You will never unsee it after that. So thank you so much for coming on. Thank y'all for listening and for supporting the show as we've grown here over the past year. Coming up on a year, man. Episodes are flying by. We're not too far from 100. We're going to keep trying to bring out the best content we can twice a week, and just try to help anybody else out there who's young in business, starting the entrepreneurship journey, because just try to discuss things that I wish I would have had 2, 3, 4 years ago when I was starting out. So anything we can do to help you, always just reach out to us. You can email us, or we got our Instagram down in the show notes. You can DM us there and connect with us there. So thank you again, Travis. I hope you have a great night, man.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure to be on here, and it was awesome to do it.
Absolutely, buddy. Thank you all for tuning in. Leave us a rating and review if you would. If you enjoyed the show, give us a big thumbs up. Can't wait to catch up with y'all here on the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green Landscapes podcast. We know you have many other podcast options to choose from, and don't take it for granted that you chose to spend some time with us today. You can connect with Jeremiah Jennings at Growing Green Landscapes on Instagram, or use the link in the show description. Don't forget to smash the follow button on the podcast and leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. We hope you crush it in your business and hope to catch you on our next episode.